how can you tell when's the right time to go in for the kiss, and how do you go about it? Because I know nearly every guy I speak to will be stressing about this. They'll be on dates with women, they'll think they might have some cues, but unfortunately they never really know how to go for it, and then the woman walks off at the end of the date and surprise, surprise, she's not keen to get a second date.
The one times which I do get a kiss, unfortunately the woman has to say first, are you going to kiss me now? So I obviously miss lots of...
Right, so the rule of thumb is, right, we said if you're getting to the stage where the woman is like, yo, are you going to kiss me? And in fact, part of the way that a woman becomes really attracted and really into you is because she sees you taking that step forward and having that boldness. And so if you don't take the step forward and you're waiting for her to give you a really clear go signal or to kiss you, you might be waiting a long time. So as I said, we're going to run through 3 scenarios of how to go in for the kiss, and also how to deal with the kiss if you go in for it and she's like, no, which is probably a worst case scenario. Okay, so if I was going to ask you to kiss me now, or to signal to know that it's the right thing to go for a kiss, how would you go about it?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know?
No.
What would I have to do? Would I have to be like jumping on you at this stage?
I mean, I'd have to get some signals, but like I say, the
okay, what signals could we be expecting?
You might look at me in the eyes more.
Right.
You might smile more.
Right. Good.
You might come closer to me more.
Okay. This is actually where we're at, this is a really good position for guys to be into if you want to go in and go for a kiss. If you're sat opposite somebody on a table and you're like, it doesn't work so well. Right now we've got loads of ability to have good physical contact between us, because as you can see, it's going to be quite easy for us to move in towards one another, and it's not going to, no one's going to have to lunge anywhere. And so the best way to begin to start to tell about going for the kiss is actually to begin to work with proximity, which is how close we are to one another. Because if you're in what I call intimate proximity, which is like, I'll show you intimate proximity is like here, you're going to be able to kiss, right?
Yeah.
Straight
away, you're in there.
You're in there.
You're in their space, and they don't mind you being there.
Exactly. So if you can get the woman into that position, that's going to be really helpful for you.
Okay.
And there's lots that we can do with your body language that's going to be able to help with that. So to begin with, what we can notice is right now, our knees are touching. So we want to start to increase as many points of contact as possible. And as we're increasing points of contact, we're going to maintain eye contact.
Okay.
We maintain eye contact because actually eye contact builds trust.
Okay.
So that's the way that we know that you're not doing anything weird.
Yeah, okay.
So we've got our knees, our knee and leg is kind of touching at the moment. Yeah. So what could you do right now in order to increase physical touch or increase proximity?
If I was to make a comment and to maybe touch on the shoulder and then...
Okay.
But more of just a casual, have you seen that over there? Or
good. Okay, good. That was really good.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we can use something in the room, and this could be our first test, if you like, to see how comfortable she is.
Yeah.
So if you want, as you said, if you want to do that again, point to something to me.
Yeah. Seen that over there?
Right, this is good. And what we can do is we can actually go more for here, right? Because that's better. Because this, if you're here, I'm doing like a yoga thing, I can only lean in so much. If you're here, what I can do is you might notice that I start to organically move in towards you. Right. So it's probably a better way of us testing if that's going to work or not. So that could be our first thing we do. So say we've established that. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to start to maintain really good eye contact and start to slow down your voice and what you're saying to me. And you can be saying anything. You just have to say it in a way that's really slow, and that you're really enjoying the words that you're using. Now, if you've got someone like this, and this is a bit of this is
staring in someone's eyes,
but it should feel quite intense, and it should feel quite romantic. Now, from here, there's a bunch of stuff I can do, because when I've got your eye contact, what I can do is I could actually, if I've got a free hand, this free hand could go to your hand, and it could pull it in towards, so I could do this, which would be quite forceful. This other hand, I could also use this free hand to go for the arm, and I could actually just kind of hook you in, and I want you to be coming towards me. Now, what I'm doing is I'm probably talking, I'm expressing, I'm looking around the room, I'm smiling, the eye contact is there. So it doesn't feel too much like you're about to get pounced on. So it's eye contact to begin with, smile, slow voice, right down. And then what we want to do is hook or hook. And you should actually come in organically towards me. Now at this point, when we're talking this closely, and if it was the other way around, you could start to play with my necklaces or something like that. At this point, what we can do is you're here, and then all you need to do is go hand here or hand here, and that'll do it. I feel like I'm teaching a martial art or something, but so
it's a definite step, though. It's a
yeah. So what you can do is you never actually need to get to a point where she's gonna. Well, obviously, we don't want to make women feel uncomfortable. We want to make them feel like sexy and stuff.
Yeah.
So the right thing to do is each stage. If she wasn't interested, she would tense up and she would turn around. If she's there on a date, then she's been talking to you and smiling for like an hour and touching you and is really engaged. She's probably wanting this like lightning electricity moment to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to try quickly doing that towards me, and then we'll do another version.
Yeah. Okay.
So first step, what's the first step?
Eye contact.
Eye contact.
Yeah.
Then
Okay, so we've got eye contact, and then show you something.
yeah, so slow,
So slow,
Low.
voice down.
but really enjoy. So you're still quite relatively loud, but you're really enjoying the language that you're using.
Right. Okay.
So get that eye contact. So look more alert. More, yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Definitely better.
More straight up.
More straight up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you want to go for a point of contact.
Okay. So over there.
All right. Okay, that's cool. So now we've seen the thing. So you drop it down. Oh look, I'm still here, and your hand's still here.
Yeah.
Now what? Go for something else. Flirt with me. Pay me a compliment.
You've got lovely eyes.
Okay, that's cool. And so again, say it slower. You've got really
lovely eyes.
okay, cool. And then when you're doing that, I want this other hand to start to be doing something.
Okay. You've got really lovely eyes.
And I'm gonna be a girl. I'm gonna. Oh, thank you. Okay, now what? See, already static. So we want this hand to start creeping at this point.
Right.
And pulling me in, I'm like, no, anyway. And then you smile at me and nod.
Okay.
And then pull this one in, pull in. Okay, I'm laughing and I'm like, yeah, and I'm gonna be like, no, I'm being a girl, no, but yes. And this hand is gonna have to come up, okay? Or if you're gonna be really sexy, this other hand would actually come up and get me
right there.
Yeah. That could be pretty good, couldn't it? And look, you've just managed to stroke my whole back, so I'm gonna be feeling nice.
Yeah.
So actually what we're doing at each of those stages where we're doing the eye contact, the compliment, the hands are going everywhere, we're kind of twisting up sexual tension, which we need to happen. And I would say reliably for every date that I've ever been on ever where I've ended up kissing someone, they've told me I'm sexy, they've tried to kiss me, and it's created that atmosphere. So we're going to do another couple of ones. We're going to do one more example here because that would be just a great general flow when you're using all the different variations of eye contact, speech and touch. For our second variation, we're going to be using eye contact and then one simple statement, because while it's better just to use non-verbal signals if you can, sometimes if you're stuck, asking a woman a question or seeking permission verbally, it doesn't have to be the worst thing you could ever do if you do it right. So a lot of the art form of the kiss that she was talking about is listening to your own instincts rather than watching the other person. If you're centered in yourself and you're thinking, wow, this person's really attractive, I'm really enjoying this day, look at their lovely face, and I just want to, if you're listening to something inside of you, then that will instinctively be telling you what's the right thing to do here. The second example I'm going to be giving is actually using eye contact, which is probably the smoothest way to go in for a kiss. We can just use eye contact. So I've got a couple of looks I'm going to be teaching you. And on top of that, I'm going to also be saying that sometimes you can kind of get away with being able to ask somebody to kiss them, but you have to do it in a sexy way. Okay, so we're going to be doing those two.
Good.
And then we'll do one more example where we're actually stood up. So that would be if you're saying goodbye at the tube or something, you need some help. Okay, so first of all, eye contact. Have you heard of the triangular gaze?
No.
Okay, the triangular gaze, you might have done it accidentally, is when you go left eye, right eye, lips, back. And that basically says, I'm getting your attention, I want to kiss your lips, please, now. And it really clearly communicates because you're looking at what you want to do. And again, while we're doing this, we shouldn't be in a point where we're not engaged with one another. Your arms should be coming out always, like, even if it's just around the back there. So you're like kind of you're in position, you can like push me nicely if you need to. Now we're going to imagine we're leaning in towards each other and I give you the signal, eye contact, lips, and then back. Big smile, and at this point, this is when one of these hands again is going to have to move, or the knee. Yes, the knee would be really good, and then you would actually pull me in and get this hand engaged. All right, okay, and that is actually going to feel should feel really natural because we
okay.
haven't kind of, we've done it with eye contact. It's almost getting permission and communicating via our eyes first, going into the physical contact second. Your touch is really nice. It didn't feel like it was too heavy-handed or anything like that. So we can do that. The other option, which is actually much more likely as a man you're going to see coming from a woman as a signal, is something called the coital gaze. Would you believe it? It's its legit name. And honestly, anyone should practice this walking along the street because it's amazing. Whether it's man to man, woman to woman, man to woman, woman to man, any way round, it is like creates instant sexy sex appeal, and it makes people go, whoa. So the coital gaze is just literally that I hold eye contact, drop eye contact, and then look back up, and that gives a very, very clear sexual signal. It's actually more feminine because what we're doing is by holding eye contact, dropping eye contact, and then looking back up, it's quite submissive. So my chin has gone in, I'm looking upwards at you, I'm like, looking a bit more vulnerable and a bit more demure. So if you're getting that signal, that's a really clear one for me. Okay, so what I want you to do is to practice the triangular gaze. Okay. Okay, good. I want you to do it again, but more obvious. Right. Going for obvious. Okay, that's really good. Do it again with touch. Okay. There needs to be touch. So remember, hand at the back. So left eye, so right eye. So your hand should be now moving to the small of my back. Okay. So before we get to the lips, okay, hand. Yeah, that's good. Or you can go for wrist. Right. Okay, good. I like the hand up the back. That was feeling really good. I would just say with this one, we want it to all be kind of coming together at the same time. Yeah. Okay, so the next, one last little thing I wanted to go through before we move into how to do the standing up is actually if you are, as you know, what it's like, it's all well and good, isn't it, practicing sat out on a bench with me, it's gonna be nice, but if you're actually on an actual date, you might be getting to the phase and thinking, I kind of know what's the right thing to do, but I'm struggling to like go for it. If that's you, you can sometimes get away with saying that you'd like to kiss a person, but you have to say it in a sexy way. I don't want anybody that's ever watching this video to say, how do you rate yourself as a kisser, 1 to 10? Or close your eyes, let me look at how long your eyelashes are. I've heard some bad ones in the past. So what we want to do instead is I want you to be thinking about saying things like either, I want to kiss you now, or you can say, can I kiss you now? But you can't say it in a wimpy way. You can't say, can I kiss you now? You have to say, so, can I kiss you now? So all the time, do you get the difference?
It's a positive. It's
strong and authoritative. And it's not that we have to be strong and authoritative all the time, but this time when we want somebody to do something, it's good. Yeah. So what I want you to do now is have your set hand in position. Okay. I'm ready, eye contact, nice and straight. Yeah. Straight. We'll both have good posture today. And then you're leaning in, we're talking, so the proximity is here, that it's looking good. Okay. And then I want you to try and ask to kiss me.
So, can I kiss you now?
Okay, good. Yes, that was good. That was good. Does that feel good?
Yeah.
But right, not quite
confident.
Confident, strong.
Yes.
So, and what's she gonna do at this stage in response to that?
You'll just both naturally lean together.
Yes, that would be good. Or because she's being a woman, and that was quite sexy, she might go, as I have done many times myself, I don't know, and she'll go into some kind of flap. I actually legitimately did this like 2 weeks ago or something. So I'm generally quite confident. Yeah. So she might go, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure if I can. And at this point, but she's smiling, she's laughing, she's engaging.
You've got to just go for it.
Yes, okay. We're going to do this again. Okay. I'm going to have a bit of a wobble about it, and you're going to, in a nice way, politely tell and assert yourself, and just, pull me in towards you. Yeah. And then, and you're going to tell me to stop flirting with you. Yeah. Okay? Okay. Okay.
Right. So, can I kiss you now? Stop flirting with me.
Okay. Wait for me to go more and turn and pull me towards you. Pull me towards you.
Right.
Okay, so I'm like, no. And then I'll be like, but look how I'm smiling. I'm smiling and I'm leaning in. But even though I'm like, no.
And then I'm like, stop flirting with me.
Yeah, stop flirting with me and then kiss.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Right, yeah.
You know, or you can let her release her if you want, and you can say, okay, but unless you look less pretty in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to try again. So every time we're like, you're thinking, I'm pretty sure she likes me. I know I like her. We're on a date. I'm a good person. This is the right and sexy thing to do.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. We're going to do one more, which is what I like to call the sexy goodbye, which is basically if you kind of maybe potentially messed it up a little bit and you've let it go on to the end of the day and you haven't...
That's familiar for me.
haven't kissed her yet, and you're like, right, I have one last opportunity before she gets onto her bus. I'm going to try and teach you how to maximise that. Okay, so this is what I like to call the sexy goodbye, which is like, okay, I've left it to the end of the day, I feel there was tension, I kind of missed it, how do I try and capitalise on the last moment? And sometimes you don't even need to fully go in for the kiss, but you need to do something which says, I'm interested in you in that way, because you know what, we live in a busy city. If you live in a place like London, people have very little time, and if you don't kind of create enough tension on the date, there's not really enough incentive for them to see you again. All right. So is this relatable?
This is totally what I get. I get to the tube station and there's that bit of an awkward pause, and I think they see your awkward pauseness and then they kind of, oh, okay, and then they just,
okay,
they're not going to go for it. So they think if I'm not going to go for it, then they just walk away.
Right, exactly. Because they're like, I'm not going to do it. He's going to do it. I'm going to do it. Well, that was awkward, and we're all being very British.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, okay, here's a couple of goodbyes that you could go for. And this is kind of like what not to do. We do not want to go in for like what I call the mate hug. This is the mate hug. Oh, mate. So nice. See ya. See you
Good to
another.
see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Like lots of patting and like a bear hug, because that's not very sexy.
No.
Likewise, we could go too far in the other direction and be sort of too polite and kind of redo the kiss that you might have done at the start, which would have probably been. And that's better than the mate hug, but it's not really. I can't feel like my pulse rate accelerating at any stage. So instead, what I want us to do is something where we're going to be facing opposite one another, and facing opposite is actually pretty sexy, because we've got when you're in this kind of body language position, where actually if you step your feet just a touch wider, this is the body language position known as the straddle. Okay. They've all got bad names. And this basically is a very masculine, very assertive stance. We don't always have to be masculine, but when you're doing one of these like killer moves, this is the right way to go. So we've got the straddle. Then what I want to do is we're going to say goodbye. And actually what we're going to do is I'm going to get you to put your hands on the small of my back. And we are actually, as we're moving into, you're pulling me in towards me, we're going to go to the hips. I'm going to go to here. Now, immediately, this is going to start to feel quite sexy. And now I want you to make really strong eye contact and tell me it's been really good seeing me this evening.
It's been really good seeing you this evening.
Okay. And then what I want you to do is I want you to, like, on that, at the end, give my hips like a fraction more pressure on the hips. We're being a bit, again, more masculine.
Okay.
And then you're going to release. We're going to break away on one side more than the other. Now, maintaining strong eye contact. Now, look, we've got a great drop there. And you could just about get her hand. Now, strong eye contact. And what I want you to do is give me my hand a little squeeze. Now, look at my reaction. Because I could be like, see you later. And then you can let me go. Or if I'm like smiling and I lean in reaction to the squeeze, then you can actually pull me back. Oh, and it's a movie moment. It's a movie moment at the end. So should we do that all the way through, right from the start?
Yeah.
So this is basically how to have a sexy goodbye. And it can either be you leave her kind of thinking about it because you've made that it was really good to see you statement and you kind of let her go. Or if you get a really obvious reaction, you can pull her back in and have a super romantic movie moment kiss.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, you can say, invite me to give you a hug.
Right. So.
Okay, what we're going to do is probably a bit more of this. So we're going to go in, so spend a bit more time. Then hold me there, and say.
Had a really good night tonight.
Yeah, or see you again soon.
See you again soon.
Okay, and catch, squeeze, and I'm like, oh my God, I wanted you to kiss me all along. Da, da, da. See, that felt good, right?
Yeah.
That felt so natural. I think we nailed it.
Yeah.
Okay, well done. Awesome. Wicked. Okay, so what we've gone through today, thank you so much for participating, Andy. Was that like, do you
Brilliant.
think helpful?
Yeah, really good, really good.
Well, there's going to be some lucky ladies out there in London soon. So what we've been doing is we've just been going through a few different ways that you can go for the kiss, because this is usually, I think, for basically most men, or, you know, not even men. If you're, you know, on a girl-to-girl date or something and you're like, oh, I really want to kiss her, it's the same position. If you're in the position where you should be the kisser, this can be stressful because it can be really difficult to know when's the right time. Ultimately, you know, a lot of it being the right time is you having the initiative and you having a strong enough direction towards what you want and trusting your instincts and really focusing on them. And today we've just gone through 3 simple ways, either by sitting side by side, using eye contact, saying, can I kiss you now? How to do it if you've left it too late and you're just about to go through the tube. 3 very simple ways that you can use body language. And I think what I like about all these things is that it doesn't feel forceful. Yeah. It should feel pretty natural. And all the time you're engaging with her. So, you know, if she's like, you know, really stiff and giving you an angry look or an uncertain look, of course you let her go, that's fine. But it's just if you're for one of the many, many dates that I bet you and loads of other guys that have had, where we're pretty sure she wanted to kiss you, she liked you, she's waiting for that moment, the moment never comes, this will teach you how to kind of put those steps in place in order to do that. Yeah. Well, if you want more video tutorials, I have to say, apart from subscribing to my awesome YouTube, please check out hayleyquinn.com/club, where I have my members club, which has tons more video information and I think a pretty brilliant private Facebook group as well.
It does, a good group.
Good group. So I go on there and answer people's questions nearly every day. And so if you really want to improve and you want just step-by-steps, good, straightforward, no nonsense advice, hayleyquinn.com/club, and I'll see you guys again soon.